Netflix braces for more layoffs by the end of the week, just a month after hundreds of staff and contractors were cut, and as the company loses 70% of its value and reveals it shed nearly 200,000 subscribers and expects to lose more. And this is the craziest thing, too, because guess what? Netflix's main source of revenue is by the subscriptions for all of the content that they have on there. And what's kind of funny about the whole Netflix model is basically like a glorified OnlyFans account. That's basically what Netflix is right now. And if they do not produce super good content, they are going to get smacked down by Disney Plus, Hulu Plus, Apple TV Plus, or whatever that thing's called now, too. And to be frank, I think honestly all of these different subscription websites are probably all long term going to lose to YouTube. I personally think that YouTube is probably going to take over pretty much everything, probably absorb everything way down in the future. So I just find it kind of interesting. So Netflix is preparing for yet another wave of layoffs as the streaming platform continues to grapple with plummeting stock values and tanking subscriber numbers. The Los Gatos, California-based streaming giant, which employs 11,000 staffers, is expected to notify those impacted by layoffs at the end of the week, Variety first reported. It comes on the heels of a previous downsizing at the company prompted by the company losing 70% of its stock value since the spring. And last month, Netflix laid off a total of 150 full-time employees and another 70 workers at its animation studios. Another 60 or 70 contractors were also let go, and many of those losing their jobs worked on series and initiatives aligned with social justice causes. The streaming platform shed 200,000 subscribers in the first 3 months of the year and lost $54 billion in stock market value in a single day in April. This is a sharp turnaround for Netflix, which saw big gains in its valuation at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Netflix is currently trading around $172 per share, as opposed to $348 per share in April. Like, that's crazy. That's like practically half. So executives have said that they expect to lose 2 million more subscribers in the second quarter. That is a disturbingly large amount of money that they are going to lose. And that's just expected. It could be way worse. Reed Hastings, Netflix's co-chief executive, said the company was considering introducing advertisements to programming viewed through its cheaper subscription package and would figure it out over the next year or two. Now here's the thing, right? Like, I personally think this is like really stupid. I think it's really stupid for them to end up having ads on their platform. Like, at all. I think what they really should do, right, is offer a limited version of Netflix for a cheaper amount. So what I mean by this is like maybe only allow Netflix original series on the lower subscription level, right? So like have that like a $4 or $5 per month thing, and it's only shows made by Netflix, meaning there's basically no recurring cost for Netflix for creating that content. They already have it because it's theirs, right? Whereas all the other shows that they have on there do cost them money because they got to pay people, they got to buy content, they got to license content, and all that kind of stuff. Oof, that is such a massive drop. So Netflix's subscriber loss in April is the first time in a decade that the numbers have fallen and a dramatic reversal of their aim of adding 2.5 million users. Last month, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos told the New York Times that the company's 70% stock drop was horrifying, disappointing, and embarrassing. We make decisions based on the best information we have at the time, They are not always going to be right, but how you help navigate the outcomes and the urgency you bring to it is what gets folks through the storm, and the storms will come. Sarandos, during his Times interview, spoke about the advertising option, which the company has so far resisted, and they should still resist it. For us, it was all about simplicity of one product, one price point, he said, adding, I think it can now withstand some complexity. Look, you could have some complexity, but here's another thing that people need to understand too, right? A lot of buyers, a lot of shoppers, a lot of people in general, human beings, right? If you give them too many options, they might not buy anything. They might just be like, screw it, I don't want anything anymore, right? So, like, if you offer them like four or five different options, they might not even pick one, regardless of the price, regardless of the services, right? Because it's just like overflow of information and choices and blah blah blah, and people are indecisive and all that. But if you have like, hey, this is our one product offering, buy it or leave it, you're gonna have more people end up buying it. Or you either have a upsell or desell, right? So basically, you either upsell someone to like a higher price point by offering them more services, or you sell them a lower price point where they get less services, but it's easier on their wallet, right? That's all you do. So basically, three options: cheap one, main one, higher price one. He also argued that while the company needs to reflect on its recent successes and failures and evaluate how it got to the place it is in now, it is not beneficial to spend too long reviewing the failures. How much time do you spend licking your wounds? He said. Let's have that burned into our memory, but we've got to move on and move fast. Another way to look at it, right, is like, let's say that you got a cut on your hand or something. You want to quickly cauterize that wound or use something that would close the wound as fast as possible and then move on with your day. So earlier this year, Netflix also announced several shows in development, including projects by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle would be dropped. See, this is the thing. Some of the like shows that they chose to like invest money in almost makes like no sense, right? Who cares about Prince Harry? Who cares about Meghan Markle? Who cares about both of them, right? And the CEO explained that Netflix, which has signed up several celebrities with no filmmaking experience, including former President Barack Obama and his wife Michelle, tries to take a chance on new talent, but it doesn't always pan out. Here's the thing, right? How about invest in really awesome content, like really awesome ideas? Let's see. While the company looks to halt its trending declines and seek new growth opportunities, it is also being sued by investors who claim Netflix misled them about subscriber growth in the 6 months before it reported the loss of subscribers, leading to a plunge in stock price. The lawsuit, which seeks class action status, was filed in San Francisco federal court alleging that Netflix violated U.S. securities laws by making materially false and or misleading statements, and because it failed to disclose material adverse facts about the company's business operations and prospects. The lead plaintiff, Pirani vs. Netflix Incorporated (ETAL), is Fayaz Pirani, a trustee of Imperium Irrevocable Trust, which is a Netflix shareholder, is named in the lawsuit that seeks damages for declines in the company's share price this year after the company missed its subscriber growth estimates. The lawsuit was filed just days after Netflix dropped Meghan Markle's animated series as part of a wave of cutbacks prompted by the streaming service's drop in subscribers, and the lawsuit seeks damages for investors who traded Netflix shares between October 19, 2021 and April 19, 2022, which include compensatory damages with an amount to be proven at trial. Let's see if there's any comments on this post. Oh, there is. When will wacky lives realize we don't want their propaganda in our face with an embrace or else underlying threat? Getting rid of H and his missus M would help. Woke ecos broke. I quit it about 2 weeks ago. Really don't miss a thing. Stop spending millions on moronic people movies no one is interested in and bring out more old movies for streaming. For me, it's not just the woke attitude, although that is a concern, it's the lack of new content. They label recent additions that have been around for ages. Netflix can blame this on Biden's inflation, blah 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 blah. Scooby Doo made it for me. I'm not having a stinky chicken leg telling me what to do in my own lounge. Flaff arf classless cheesy goon. They keep removing shows we want to watch for stuff we don't. I would have to agree with that statement. Feel free to give your thoughts about Netflix. I think personally, the main issue that Netflix has is just their content is just trash. Like if you're paying for the content and you don't want to watch basically like okay, they have a lot of stuff on there. But is there really anything on there that you actually want to look at for an hour, for 40 minutes, for 30 minutes? Like they've gotten so desperate that they are trying to recreate a TV show based off Mr. Beast challenge of the Squid Games. Like how crazy is that? How bad must your company be doing to basically steal the idea of a YouTuber? Like you're gonna have to rely on that. Like the idea has basically already been done, right? Like the rough foundation of it, and I think they're going to probably try to rely on that like Squid Game reality TV show. They try to drive their numbers up to like a heavy extent, but I think it's going to crash and burn. It might do well for a little bit, but then I think people are just going to not care about it like at all, right? Like the only reason why Mr. Beast's Squid Game got over the 200 million views in as quick as it did is because Squid Games at the time was a worldwide phenomenon, right? It was a massive thing that pretty much everyone heard about all over the world, right? But if you take like a year to make this, 2 years to make this, guess what? It's just not really going to work out, right? Like the impact of the Squid Game TV show is gone, right? People have very short attention spans, and like really, what they should have done is made the TV show during the time that Squid Games was like just going through the clouds in terms of popularity and attention. If you want to learn how to get a debt and master your money, go to 40inbox.com.